I better call her to ask what happened. Margarita would call the angel Vados, but when trying to communicate with her, she would not answer. This is very strange because my sister does not answer my call. I'll have to visit her personally. Margarita would go to the god Belmud to inform him about what happened. Well, that's very strange. To be honest, I don't like to be visiting other universes for no reason, but this time I guess it's something important. The two beings would have flown out of their universes to go to Universe 6. It would have been about 10 minutes to be exact. The god, along with his angel, would arrive at the planet of Champa. What happened here? Because everything is devastated. Belmud would start shouting the name of Champa, but in spite of doing it, nobody answered. Perhaps that useless person has lost his life, because I can't feel his presence anywhere. This place is a disaster. Apparently there was a very recent fight. While Margarita was looking for her sister, she would find the staff of her deceased sister. Lord Belmud, apparently my sister's staff is here, but she is nowhere to be found. An angel can't leave without her staff? I don't want to think the worst, but somehow someone could have beaten her in a battle. That would explain the disappearance of those two beings. But what being has the power to do it? This is the first time that an angel is eliminated. I'll have to inform my father about this. This can't stay like this. I won't allow it. When I find the culprit, I will tear him to pieces and take revenge for my sister's life. The god Belmud, together with the angel Margarita, would go to the palace of Zenosama. Since they could not explain what had happened, once they arrived, the guards would have stopped them. What are you doing here? To come to this place, you need special permission from the great Zenosama. That does not matter now. I need you to bring my father here. I have to tell him something. Daishinkan, seeing such a commotion, he would have arrived without anyone calling him. Father, I need to inform you of something. You don't need to tell me anything, daughter. I could also feel it. One of my precious sons has lost his life. I have tried to use my power to see what happened in the planet of the god Champa, but I can't see the culprit. This is a matter that can't be overlooked. If you find the culprit, use this button to call me. I will come immediately. Daishinkan would have thrown the special button to Margarita. She, together with the god Belmud, would have left the palace of Zenosama. Meanwhile, on Earth, Goku and Gohan had just arrived on Earth and formed a large crater in the ground. The arrival of the two would have caused a small tremor in the entire planet Earth. This place has not changed much in 3 years. Krillin, who was training, would have felt the great ki of these two beings. Who are these two people? I feel that they have a great level of power. But long time ago, several warriors have lost their lives for not following the orders of the god Beerus. Although I cannot do much, I will go to see who they are. Krillin would go to the scene and would take a big surprise. It cannot be true. You're still alive. I thought they had lost their lives. Hi, Krillin. Yes, it's been a long time. It's been many years since we've seen each other. Hey, I need you to tell me something. I'm trying to feel the ki of my other friends, because I can't feel them. Goku and Gohan, maybe this news will affect you a little, but I have to tell you. About 3 years ago, we found out that Mr. Beerus was one of the culprits of their deaths, so he gave us a warning. If we did anything that could harm him in the future, we were going to pay the consequences. We were all filled with fear, but after 6 months of training, we decided to face him together. Flashback to the past. So you were guilty of Kakarot's death? Don't think this is going to stay like that. Vegeta would have transformed into Super Saiyan Blue Max, thus launching himself against Beerus. Vegeta would start hitting Beerus again and again, but this god would stop his blows with both hands, and without any problem. You'll need more than that to defeat me. Beerus would grab Vegeta's hand to whip him to the ground, and then give him a kick in the ribs, which would send him flying. Vegeta, despite having received great damage from Beerus, would get up again and charge one last flash. The final flash would go against the god, but with one hand he would deflect it completely to get in front of Vegeta, and with the tip of his hand he would give him a small blow on his forehead. Vegeta would be unconscious for a few seconds, but he would regain consciousness without any problem after only 3 seconds. How the hell is he so strong? Even though I'm using almost all my power, I still can't fight him. Vegeta, you better give up. You can't do anything against me. He's right, but I have to keep on fighting. Suddenly, when Vegeta was about to attack Beerus again, the rest of the Z warriors they would launch to attack him, but Beerus without any problem would leave them injured. 6 months ago I gave you a warning, but I see that you don't learn. I will have to give you a more severe punishment. Beerus would start to eliminate several of the Z warriors. When only Krillin was left, Vegeta would scream to stop him. Stop once and for all! Don't eliminate anyone else! Ha ha ha! If you ask me to, I won't do it. Why don't we make this fight more interesting? Beerus would grab Bulma's neck, thus using mental power to keep Bulma in the air. God, don't you dare touch my wife! I'm warning you! And if I don't want to, what will happen? Die, mortal! Hakai! Bulma would scream. Her body would turn into dust completely. Vegeta would be totally shocked when he saw this. Vegeta, he would start to back up, while touching his head. This can't be happening. My beloved wife Bulma. He eliminated her without further ado. Suddenly, from Vegeta's body, many rays would start to come out. A purple energy would be present, thus Vegeta obtaining the Ultra Ego. Beerus, seeing this, would be very surprised. That mortal managed to activate the energy of the gods of destruction? How is that possible? Vegeta, who could not control his anger, would throw himself against Beerus at great speed to start hitting him, but unlike the other time, his blows were much stronger, thus making the god start to cover himself from his attacks. Was able to increase his power instantly just because he got angry. Ending his life could be a waste. It will be better to keep him alive. Suddenly, Vegeta would give Beerus a very powerful kick, which would knock him back completely. Bursts of energies were coming out of Vegeta's hands, but even though Vegeta would have managed to get the god's power, his power was not strong enough to make Beerus get serious. The god would launch a ball of Hakai energy against Vegeta. The Saiyan would use his 2 hands to stop it, but as he tried to do so, his body would lose more and more strength. I will make you my servant, Vegeta. Mental possession slavery without limits. The ability would have fallen on Vegeta, so his body would become totally immobile. Beerus would make his Hakai energy disappear, while Vegeta internally tried to struggle not to be controlled. The transformation of the Ultra Ego would be lost in Vegeta's body, thus returning to his base state. Mr. Beerus, to think that you used such a cruel technique against the Vegeta Saiyan. He asked for it. Besides, now I know the potential he has in the future. If I train him well, he could be useful to me. More than 3 minutes have passed and Vegeta still doesn't fall into his mind control. He still resists, but it won't take long for him to give in to my mind control. Meanwhile, inside Vegeta, in that place you could see thousands of copies of the god Beerus cornering the Saiyan. My memories are being lost. I can't be controlled. But despite Vegeta's will, his body would be controlled by the god of destruction. Apparently you succeeded, Mr. Beerus. Beerus, after controlling Vegeta, would laugh loudly. Ha 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 ha! Apparently I got something very valuable today. Thanks to Vegeta's sacrifice, I will spare the lives of all mankind. Do not cause me any more problems. The god would leave the planet with Vegeta. End of flashback. So that's what happened. Bulma also lost her life because of that god. I have to avenge her. Gohan, reunite with your family. I will reunite with your mother. Tomorrow, we will leave to the planet of Mr. Beerus. Goku would go to Chi-Chi's house, knocking on the door. She would have come out like this, starting to hug Goku, rejoicing that he was still alive. Her son Goten would also do the same. At that time, Chi-Chi had to take care of Trunks. Father, how are you alive? Miss Bulma used the dragon spheres and said that your body had been eliminated along with my brother's body. It's a long story. Goku would start telling everything to Goten, Chi-Chi, and Trunks. Meanwhile, Gohan would arrive at Vidal's house. Unlike his father, he wouldn't have the same luck. Krillin didn't tell him the rest of his story, since he didn't know how Gohan would react. Apparently his wife and daughter died at the hands of that god. When he got home, he would find a letter on the floor. The more he read the letter, the more he could not hold back his tears. Videl knew that if she faced that god, she would lose her life, but she did it anyway. This is not fair in any way. I will make him pay. Suddenly Gohan's house would explode completely, and a very intense purple light would come out of it. Gohan would use the purple Super Saiyan. Gohan's ki would be felt in almost all universes. The other gods would be very shocked at such powerful ki. Goku, who was talking to his family, would leave his house immediately, thus flying to Gohan at great speed. Goku would arrive and ask Gohan to calm down, but Gohan did not pay attention. He was very angry. "Father, don't try to stop me. That god killed my daughter and Videl. I have to avenge them. I will make him pay." "Okay, Gohan, as you wish." Gohan together with Goku would fly at high speeds towards Beerus' planet. It would take them only 3 minutes to arrive. While they were arriving, Whis would wake up very alert. "I feel two ki approaching at high speed. One of them has a huge power, because my body trembles. Who are these two people?" Beerus would also wake up. "Whis, you feel that? I can feel it. You better get ready. I feel a strong, killer energy, especially in one of them." Beerus and Whis would go outside their house, thus waiting for the two beings of great power. Goku and Gohan would soon arrive, thus creating a big explosion for their arrival. "God, you will pay for what you did to my daughter and my wife."